Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. The first frame, just come to break.
Another big game coming up. Judd Trump breaking off in this semi-final, taking on Daniel Wells, who, as you say, is having the week of his life here. Daniel Wells has gone completely under the radar, but he's arrived here at table 1, taking on good pal and competitor, one of the best in the game, Judd Trump. Who is going to stop Judd Trump's run at the moment? Almost got an air of unbeatability about him. Is it going to be Daniel Wells?
What?
Very good opening long red from Dan. The type of ball he's going to have to consistently knock in throughout this match if he's going to have a chance. Been in 2 ranking semi-finals in the past, Daniel. None bigger than this, though.
The first semi-final he got to was 2018 Scottish Open. He won't have fond memories of it, though. He was 4-0 ahead of Mark Allen, but ended up losing. And also that was previously the biggest check he received of 20,000. He's already guaranteed £34,500. And if he was to win this evening, jumps up to guaranteed 76,000.
Daniel Wells, 5.
And that mistake from Daniel Wells, if he's to make that type of mistake today, it could be punished heavily. Judd Trump is so clinical in these big matches. It's a fine line for Dan. It just begs the question, what sort of game plan has he got coming into this game? Do you attack? But it's a fine line between attack and pushing the boat out too much.
1.
You feel it's going to take a very special performance to down this man. And just quickly on the prize money as well, you know, as a player, you try and tell yourself not to think about the prize money and everything that comes with doing well in events. Of course, the likes of Judd Trump won't be thinking about that. And we saw Daniel in his interview post-match yesterday saying, you know, Judd's got too much money. You know, I could do with it. Judd definitely won't be thinking about that. But,
9.
you know, Daniel will at the end of the day. It's a massive, massive occasion for him, and that money would be huge.
I think if he's thinking about it before he plays, that's okay. You can use it as a motivating factor because it's so much money pushing up the rankings. It's going to put him in
16.
great chance of already making the top 32 Grand Prix event in the new year, and maybe a couple of others.
17.
Plus the confidence it would give him, take the pressure off, and starting the season at ranked around the 50s. It'll just change his mentality from staying on tour or don't fall off the tour,
22.
thinking positive and confident about what he wants to happen, which is push on to the top 32. So fantastic for him. Of course, when he's out there, doesn't really thinking about
23.
even winning. If you really want to win in snooker, got to forget about it. Just totally focus on the process, one shot at a time. And again, that's so easily said, very hard to do, particularly in circumstances
28.
and arenas like this.
Perfect cannon to the pack for Judd Trump. didn't go into them with any real pace. It was a controlled split. Now, if he can navigate his way out of this little congested zone, back nicely onto a colour, he could be away in this opening frame. Well, took the decision to play that one right-handed.
Judd Trump, 28.
It was a bit of a stretch. He was hampered over the reds, as you can see, but early mistake from Judd Trump. Didn't have to play that with his opposite hand.
Still would have expected him to get it. However, I think if he takes the extra couple of seconds and gets the spider out, fully expect him to pot it then. And it's such a good start. And sometimes set the tone for the whole match, even though it is best of 11, particularly for him as the favourite. He could have won that frame. First chance, one visit. Would have been putting Daniel under more pressure. Mentioned in his interview yesterday as well that this week he hasn't quite been at his best. That's the difference between Judd Trump of now and when he first came on the tour in his early days. It seemed like he could only win if he was at his best. Whereas now, that's not the case. Such a good all-around game, great patience, discipline, and plus he's just so hungry to win. Whatever it takes, he'll do.
And Judd has had a very plain sailing route to this, the semi-finals. He's only dropped 6 frames throughout the whole tournament. So if Daniel Wells is going to do a number over him today, he's going to have to win as many frames as Judd has conceded this whole event. Another dominant display from a player who really is starting to dominate snooker. And as Fergal mentioned at the top of the show, a win today for Judd Trump will send him back to the top of the world rankings, with a chance to extend that lead at the top in the final tomorrow. All sorts on the line this week for Judd Trump. The rankings, the prize money, lifting the Xi'an Grand Prix title for the very first time to become the first ever champion of the event.
Yeah, I think fully confident Judd Trump would take on that straight red. As difficult as it is, but just trying to find something, an element of safety in it. And again, the impressive thing wasn't so much that he got it, but the game management. Not just managing his game, but also himself. In that interview, he mentioned he just wants to win every tournament. 28 ranking titles already.
3.
Could well surpass Ronnie O'Sullivan's title list, amount of titles. 41, by far the younger man.
Well, he's currently tied with Steve Davis on 28 ranking titles, so if he was to lift it tomorrow, he'd eclipse the great Steve Davis. Still so very young in the context of things as well. Judd Trump done so much in his career already. Still so much to come from him.
Again, during the week, we were talking about the conversation, where does Judd stand in the list of all-time greats? I think everybody'd have him in the top 10, but probably not top 5. However, he does have the second highest winning percentage of all players of all time on tour. He's won 71% of his matches as a pro, and only Ronnie O'Sullivan, who's won 75%, is higher. And those other serial winners, Hendry's at 68, Davis 63, John Higgins 69. So that shows the level of success he's had. To get into that top 5 conversation, you will have to win more majors. God love him, he's only won 4 of them so far.
9.
Yeah, that's poor, isn't it, really?
Heart goes out to him.
What a glorious chance this now for Judd Trump to take the opening frame here. Very important for Daniel Wells to try and tame Judd for as long as possible, keep him under control, because as all top players are, top champions, they're very good front runners, and this game could very quickly get away from Daniel Wells. You know, we're talking about this match as if we're already writing Daniel Wells off. That's absolutely not the case. He's an incredibly capable player himself, but he's going to have to produce a career best performance today if he's going to beat this man. Purely because of the run that Judd Trump is on at the minute. And particularly in this part of the world, in China. Lifted the Shanghai Masters last month. Deconstructing Ronnie O'Sullivan in his own backyard, 10 frames to 3 in the semis, and then hammering Sean Murphy in the final as well. Begs the question, what is it going to take to stop Judd in China?
$28. $29.
In Shanghai, he was totally in the groove, totally in the zone, appeared all week. He does seem to take an extra sense of satisfaction out of winning these days without being at his best.
35.
Yeah, that ripple of applause signifies he has the frame won. It's a nice start for him. Just wanted to stamp his authority on the match against the more inexperienced
42.
opponent. Daniel Wells can win this match, but only
43.
if he gets the first chance. Not in most of the frames. If he's in first, the winning and losing the match is in his hands.
49.
As good as Judd is, can't do anything about it. He's sitting down.
50. $57. $58.
Tremendous shot. frame well won, but still to have the ability to do it at any stage. It's worse he's getting.
That's a poor positional shot.
67.
I'd like to see you pot this from here, Judd.
Judd Trump 67 at break.